Yeah, active court cases right now between the Trump admin and Harvard University on the revocation of federal funding on a number of different levels. And this is another battle in that war that's ongoing right now. You mentioned at the top there that the Federal Task Force on Combating Anti-Semitism had found that Harvard had been deliberately indifferent to some of these cases of anti-Semitism, but the federal task force actually took it a bit further than that. They said in some cases, Harvard had been a quote-unquote willing participant, not just indifferent, a willing participant in some anti-Semitic harassment of Jewish staff, faculty, and students at Harvard University. It's pretty strong accusations. Now, Harvard has said, listen, we formed a task force of our own to fight some of these allegations in 2024. We've been working toward progress. We've implemented some new policies, some sensitivity training and things of that nature. A lot of critics, though, of Harvard have said it's just superficial. It really hasn't done anything in practice to alleviate the situation on campus. And so back and forth we go here between the federal task force and Harvard University. Now, Harvard said on Monday that they strongly disagree with the particular report and the government's findings. They said, again, that they've shared their response with the government, haven't really heard back specifically what they need to continue to do in order to basically sway the federal government here away from a revocation of federal funding because of violations of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, which covers discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin. So religion, Jewish, national origin, Israeli, both would fall under that particular provision of the Civil Rights Act.
Well, Mike, this isn't the only university that's in the headlines for Title VI. Columbia University's accreditation, it might be in jeopardy for also acting with deliberate indifference to the harassment of Jewish students on campus. So this is something that we're seeing time and time again. What can you tell us about the Columbia University incident?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, this is even more serious than Harvard, because if you lose your accreditation, you can't get any federal funding, period. I'm talking about government contracts, student loans, nothing. Federal funding is essentially cut off. And beyond that, the reputation of your university takes a major hit because the accrediting agencies are supposed to be non-political in nature. So here's what's going on right now with Columbia. It's the same thing. The federal government alleges that the university has not done enough to combat anti-Semitism, that they've been willfully ignorant of it, haven't done enough to combat it. So that's step one. Step two, the federal government advised the accreditation agency who oversees Columbia and hundreds of other schools in this region of the country here, that they were in violation of their accreditation, specifically when it comes to things like ethics. They wanted to see more done in the way of diversifying viewpoints on campus, respectful discourse on campus, which obviously the pro-Hamas protests that have engulfed Columbia over the last year have obviously violated those provisions. So what the accrediting agency does, and again, this is a very professional agency, it's supposed to be immune to political, a tug of war. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case here, but they have now put, as a result of the government's accusations, they've now put Columbia on notice that they are in violation of their accreditation, and there could be action taken. Now, they've given Columbia until early November to rectify these issues. It's basically a notice. It's not so much pulling the trigger on any action, but it's a notice that if they don't rectify these problems with anti-Semitism on campus and follow a specific plan that they're going to lay out, then yes, it could eventually lead to the revocation of accreditation, which you're essentially, I hate to put it this way, you essentially become a clown college of sorts if you don't have accreditation. It's basically unheard of here in the United States for any reputable university. Federal funding is one thing, a battle with the administration is one thing, revocation of your accreditation, you cease to become essentially a reputable university at that point in time. Again, it's not for today. We'll look down the line toward November, but obviously Columbia has work to do here to fend off that kind of a drastic action.